Professor Black Ops, you see it. Let's get it. Google exec tells employees in a testy all hands meeting that Bard AI isn't just a search service. So, long story short, Bard AI is their chat GPT, right? Everybody heard of the Google Red Alert. So, Google got Red Alert, and I actually said this on Black Heights channel is Google got money, so they they can go buy companies, stitch them together, right, to compete against chat GPT. We know that's the future and that's hot. So Google's not going to be left behind. Now they might not win, but they got infinite money, so they're going to spend it. So let's read the article. After rolling out Bard as an AI service largely for search, Google executives appear to be pivoting away from that focus without providing users cases. In an all hands meeting Thursday, execs tried to draw a distraction between Bard's capabilities and search. He said, I just want to be very clear. Bard is just not search, said Jack, the product lead for Bard, in response to an employee written question. So the rumor Bard didn't go very well, and it was giving out wrong information. And we're actually going to look at an article on CNBC and break it down. But let's read these couple paragraphs before we click on that video. Google executives are continue to deal with the fallout from a last month's fumble announcement of the company's artificial intelligence engine called Bard. But their efforts to clean up the mess are causing further confusion among the workforce. In an all hands meeting on Thursday, executives answered questions from Dory, the company's internal forum, with most of the top rated issues related to priorities around Bard. According to the audio obtained by CNBC, it's the first company-wide meeting Google since employees criticized leadership, most notably CEO Sundar, for the way it handled the announcement of Bard, Google's ChatGPT competitor. All right, so Wall Street has punished Google parent for the Bard rollout, pushing the stock lower on concerns of the company's core search engines at risk of getting displaced by consumers eventually turning to AI powered, aka ChatGPT. So let's get down the video and chop that up. Here it is.
From Bard's blunder, Google employees criticizing their own company on an internal forum after shares fell nearly 10% this week. Messages and memes describing the effort as rushed, botched, and comically short-sighted. Let's bring in CNBC's Jennifer Elias.
That's what we just got talking about. I heard it went super bad, like you see on there. It was rushed and botched. But when you call a red alert because ChatGPT came out, people gonna rush stuff, not fully tested, and this is the fallout of that.
Who broke the story about this employee dissent? And Jennifer, I guess the question is this a new wave of dissatisfaction? Is this particularly targeted at this kind of fumbled effort this week, or is there kind of more unease welling up in the ranks at Google?
Right. There has been unease for a bit that's been rising within the ranks. I would say because of the short span of time between the Bard announcement and the fumble with that, and then the layoffs announced abruptly last month, that's sort of creating this compounded reaction from employees who are really feeling dissatisfied, embarrassed a little bit by the recent Bard fumble, and just really calling out CEO Sundar Pichai in the internal repository, which is normally kind of.
And that's the new thing about this new wave of employees. They let everybody chime in. They got a forum. It's cool when everything is going good, but when something goes left like this, then everybody's leaking internal memos and meetings to the press. So somebody's going to get fired.
Of joking and funny. This week it took a more serious tone.
It's fascinating. So do you get the sense that there's embarrassment because of how the rollout was handled, or does it go deeper into maybe Google's just not prepared for this technological shift, and maybe the products themselves are not ready, or the organization was not really in place to capitalize on it?
Yeah, well, I think that it's a combination of everything you had just mentioned, particularly with the Bard rollout. On Monday, they announced Bard, confirming our reporting from last week. And that didn't have very many new details. And then they said they were having an event the day after Microsoft's event. And then that also didn't have any details, and it was sort of disorganized and disheveled. Then their own promotional video advertising Bard had a mistake in it. And so all of these combined.
So they have their own advertisement with mistakes in it. You can't have mistakes when you're rolling out to Wall Street, right? Everybody's on top of it. Everybody's watching you. So that's why a lot of times, you got to practice, double check, triple check. And obviously they didn't do that.
Really made for a bad week in how employees view leadership. But it's been, they also threw some words back at CEO Sundar Pichai saying, how is this keeping focused? This is seeming like a rushed reaction to what Microsoft is doing with ChatGPT. And you just told us in December, according to an all-hands meeting that we reported, that you were it was going to take time. They needed to slow down because they could do reputational damage if everything wasn't correct. So they sort of felt like it was a little bit of a backtrack from that as well.
Yeah, it's all fair, and I guess look, the culture there is one where employees have a voice, and I guess this has got a hard edge to it sometimes. Jennifer, thanks very much. Great to talk to you about this one.
So that shows you Google is not prepared. Their organization not prepared. And like you said, they got it rushed out. So let's kind of skip around the article because it's just really going to go over what they just talked about in there. So it's an intense time following Google launch of Bard. Alphabet stock dropped 9%, suggesting that investors are hoping for more of a light-growing competition from Microsoft, which is a large investor in ChatGPT, creator of OpenAI API. Employees are well aware of how this introduction was received. The purpose of this blog post was once we decided we were going to externally trust testers, they could leak, and it was important we position it, Pichai said. We haven't launched the product yet, and obviously when we launch it, we'll make clear it's an experimental product. Right, but when they put it to Wall Street, it didn't sound like an experimental product, right? So once again, they're just in a rush with ChatGPT. So Dean said Google has two of the best AI research teams in the world. People working side by side on a push forward for the state of the art in AI. Despite the competition in the market, we have the ability to get things out in paper here, but also work on products that touch millions of users every day. Pichai added, just over the last couple of weeks, we're taking some people who want to join Google, who are literally some of the best ML researchers and engineers on the planet. And that's one thing, once again, I said on Black Heights Show is Google has infinite money, so they're going to get the best researchers, the best teams, cherry pick the best products that are left that wasn't ChatGPT, and they're going to take a run at Microsoft, right? With ChatGPT, I expect Oracle to do the same. I expect all the large companies to kind of at least put their AWS going to show in there too with their search. So everybody's going to get into the game. So once again, Google's Bard didn't go well. Come on, Google, get it together. Once again, Professor Black Ops, please subscribe.